Incredible moment, 8-year-old girl's heartwarming plea for her wheelchair revealed to Billionair. The sun beamed brightly over Maple Grove, a cozy town cradled by cotton candy clouds. Scores of families flocked to the annual community fair, laughter ringing out like music. In the midst of it all, 8-year-old Lily sat in her well-worn wheelchair, an ocean of bright blue eyes masked with hope. She gazed at her friends playing tag, their giggles dancing in the air, and felt an ache of longing in her chest. Born with a rare condition, laughter often felt too far out of reach. But today? Today was a new start. With butterflies in her stomach, she made her way to the microphone, her heart pounding louder than any drum. A hush fell over the crowd of familiar faces, neighbors, teachers, shopkeepers, and the veterans who had protected their town. The moment hung in the air, heavy with anticipation. Taking a deep breath, Lily began to speak, her voice trembling yet determined. "Hi everyone, my name is Lily. I have a dream, it's simple. I want a wheelchair that lets me play, just like all my friends." The words poured out like sunlight breaking through the clouds. She painted a picture, wheels that spun freely, lights that sparkled, and the breeze brushing against her cheeks as she zoomed around the playground. Each word echoed her innocent hopes and honest desires for freedom. As the crowd wiped away tears, a subtle murmur swelled through the square, uniting a tapestry of compassion and shared determination, a dreamy tapestry of community. Suddenly, the side of the crowd flickered with interest. There stood a businessman, sharp-suited and dark-haired, no doubt drawn to her unfiltered hope. News spread like wildfire, igniting discussions about accessibility and the burdens many families faced. Lily's simple plea opened the floodgates to the quieter stories of struggle woven through the town. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As whispers grew, emotions boiled, revealing cracks beneath the surface. The businessman, eager to solve the problem, offered to cover the cost of Lily's dream. But his offer begged the question: would they trade their hard-earned dignity for a glimmer of hope? Tension surged, the collective voice of the town rising and falling like waves battering ashore. Lily's innocent dream highlighted the complexities of privilege and community. Standing at the crossroads of choice, her heart clashed with the weight of her family's struggles. How many others stood in shadows, waiting for a chance? Echoes of what if reverberated through their hearts, leaving an indelible mark of uncertainty. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows over Maple Grove, Lily stood at the brink of transformation. She drew a deep breath, ready to ignite the spark of possibility. Yet, the reality remained: would they uphold their values or step into the expansive unknown? The ground beneath them trembled, hinting that this story of hope and heart, of sacrifice and courage, had just begun. The moment stretched, thick with unspoken questions. Lily's heart raced as she sensed the crowd's emotions swirling around her like leaves caught in an autumn breeze. She had never imagined that her small wish could evoke such powerful reactions: people crying, whispering, their faces a blend of concern and hope. The air felt electric, crackling with possibility. Then, from the back of the crowd, a familiar face emerged: her mother, Sarah, fighting through the throng of people. She looked both worried and proud, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Sarah knew the struggle all too well. There had been nights when money was tight, when dreams felt like distant stars. As she reached Lily, she knelt beside her, cupping her daughter's cheek in one hand. "You did so well, sweetheart," she murmured, her voice thick with emotion. Lily's small smile brought a flicker of warmth to Sarah's heart, but all she could think about were the implications of that moment. Turning her gaze toward the businessman, she felt an instinctual unease. What were his intentions behind that charming smile? Did he truly understand the weight of his offer? As the man stepped forward, an unexpected hush fell over the crowd. "I'm here to support Lily," he said, his voice deep, holding the kind of confidence that could crush dreams just as easily as it could build them. I want to guarantee she gets the best wheelchair out there. One that doesn't just help her move but makes every adventure possible. A ripple of murmurs cascaded through the crowd, a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Lily's heart soared at his words, but just as quickly, doubts crept in. Would accepting help make her lesser? It was a heavy thought, yet the glimmer in her eyes shone brighter than ever. She sought out her friends in the crowd, and their eager faces beamed encouragement. You can do it, Lily. They cheered, their simple support igniting her confidence. With the crowd's murmurs surrounding her, a surge of courage coursed through her veins. Thank you. She shouted into the microphone, her voice soaring above the noise. But if I get my new wheelchair, can we try to help others too? There are kids like me who need space to play. I want everyone to feel free. The businessman blinked, visibly taken aback. The request had shifted from transactional to transformational. Gasping, the crowd felt a shift as well. A united heartbeat resonated, encompassed by a sense of purpose. They realized that Lily's heartfelt plea wasn't just about her, it was the beginning of a larger conversation, one that could ripple through the entire town. In that moment, the weight of their shared experiences intertwined, and Lily held her ground, her golden courage shining bright. The struggle wasn't just hers alone, but an entire community reaching for a brighter tomorrow. The night deepened, and as stars began to dot the darkening sky, a flame of hope ignited within her. Sarah felt pride swell within her chest, but unease still tugged at her heart. What if the businessman was all talk? What if they accepted help only to find it came with strings attached? Gathering her thoughts, she took a deep breath, glancing at the faces around them, some smiling, some uncertain. Lily searched her mother's eyes, confidence battling concern. Mom, what do we do now? As the lantern swayed gently above them, the air buzzed with unresolved questions, and the crossroads widened before them, unveiling choices yet to be made. Would they leap toward a golden opportunity or tread cautiously in search of another path? Beneath the hopeful facade lay a storm of doubt, ready to shake the ground beneath their dreams. Lily stood there, the microphone still warm in her hand, a whirlwind of thoughts spinning through her mind. Her heart raced, echoing the mixed emotions swirling around her. The crowd was alive with curiosity, their eyes darting between her and the businessman, waiting for the next move. What is it, kid? The man finally asked, a sparkle of genuine interest hidden beneath his carefully crafted demeanor. You want a new wheelchair for all the kids, huh? That's something. Lily nodded, determination flooding her small frame. She could feel her mother's hand resting protectively on her shoulder, grounding her amidst the uncertainty. I don't just want it for me. I want to make sure that everyone who needs it can have a chance to play, to explore, to be free, she replied, her voice steady, the crowd hanging on every word. The businessman leaned in, intrigue dancing in his eyes. And how do you plan to do that? He accepted her challenge, his own mask slipping slightly. Maybe we can raise money, or get more people involved, like someone who sees how important it is, and wants to help too. Her enthusiasm ignited hope in those around her. If we all came together, we could change things. We could build playgrounds, safe spaces, places where everyone could join in. A murmur climbed through the crowd, growing like a wave crashing onto the shore. There was energy in the air, a feeling of unity sparking from Lily's words. Sarah felt her heart swell. That's my girl, she whispered, enough to give Lily the reassurance she needed. But the businessman's smile flickered, a slight shadow crossing his face. It's a big dream, little one. And sometimes, dreams come with a price. Are you ready for that? His tone was now serious, and the weight of those words settled heavily around them. Lily's mind raced. Did he mean she would owe him something? For the first time, a hint of hesitation crept into her heart. I just want to help others. I don't want this to be about money. She blurted, feeling the pressure mounting. Behind her, the crowd's excitement morphed into uncertainty. Sarah stepped forward, emboldened. Lily isn't asking for much. She just wants a chance to make a change, and if you can help with that, then what is the price? Her voice was steady, holding the confidence that Lily clung to. The silence that followed was thunderous, fragile yet brimming with anticipation. The businessman's facade was cracking, and for a moment, Lily saw a flicker of something. Was it regret? Concern? Just as Lily opened her mouth to speak again, the distant sound of sirens began to wail, echoing through the streets. Cars whizzed by, their lights flashing ominously against the backdrop of the gathering. A reminder that the world outside was always in motion, often chaotic, but sometimes it could also spark a movement of hope. Maybe we should have a meeting tomorrow, the businessman said finally, his voice tentative. To discuss how we begin. A wave of excitement surged through the crowd, sparking louder cheers. But amidst the clamor, Lily felt a pang of uncertainty. Was this the beginning of something great, or the start of a deal that could entangle them all in a web of complications? As she glanced into the faces of the crowd, her friends cheering her on, and her mother's face filled with pride, Lily felt a flicker of hope mingled with fear. She was standing on the edge of a precipice, looking into an unknown future. "Mom," she whispered, heart heavy but hopeful, "what if this doesn't turn out how we want?" Sarah knelt down to meet her gaze, holding her daughter's hands firmly in her own. "No matter what happens, we'll figure it out together, sweetheart. Just remember, you never have to face it alone." The lantern swayed overhead, casting gentle shadows across their faces as the crowd's energy pulsed around them. Suddenly, the businessman cleared his throat, breaking the moment. "Tomorrow it is, then." Lily nodded, but in the back of her mind, a haunting question lingered: would tomorrow bring the promise of dreams, or the burden of unforeseen consequences? With the night deepening, the uncertain path ahead shimmered in the dim light, leaving everyone wondering, what would tomorrow unveil? The next day dawned with an air of anticipation swirling through the community like a gentle breeze. The sun shone brightly, illuminating the once muted hopes Lily had shared, painting them in vibrant colors. As she got ready, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. Today could change everything. The local community center buzzed with life as people began to gather. Children, parents, and friends filled the room, chattering and sharing looks of curiosity. Posters with bright drawings of playgrounds and smiling faces adorned the walls. Lily felt an electric energy, sparking in her chest, fueling her dreams once again. "Do you think he'll really show up?" Lily asked her mother, her hand fiddling nervously with the hem of her shirt. "I believe he will," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "You touched something in him last night. Remember that." Behind them, several kids waved eagerly, their wheelchairs festooned with bright balloons, each representing a wish. Lily's heartbeat quickened as she approached her friends. She saw Sam, a boy from her school who loved to tell jokes, and Mia, who shared stories about faraway lands. "Are you ready for this?" Sam asked, his eyes gleaming. "I think it's cool that you're gonna talk to that businessman. It's like you're a hero." Lily managed a smile, her worry lifting slightly. "I just want everyone to have a chance," she replied, but her heart was tugged by the weight of what they all stood to lose if things went wrong. Just then, the double doors swung open, and a hush swept through the crowd. The businessman, dressed sharply in a tailored suit, stepped into the room. His presence was commanding. At first glance, he was the same man from before, but a different energy surrounded him now, a mix of seriousness and curiosity. "Thank you all for being here," he said, his voice booming throughout the hall. "I've come today not just to hear Lily, but to understand how we can become a part of this change." Lily's stomach fluttered. It almost felt like a dream. She gathered all the courage she could muster and approached the makeshift stage, her legs feeling heavy but her determination lighting the way. When she took the microphone, the room felt impossibly large yet intimately close. I'm grateful you're here," she started, her voice small but steady. "What we want is simple. Places where every kid can play, no matter what. Why does it have to be hard? The businessman nodded, leaning forward in interest. And what do you envision as the first step for this? He asked, curiosity lacing his tone. Lily thought for a moment, her heart pounding. We could gather everyone, families, kids, everyone who believes in this. We could organize events, raise money together. If we all work as a team, it wouldn't just be about me. It would be for all of us. Her words hung in the air, heavy and hopeful. The crowd erupted into applause, a solid wall of support wrapping around her. The businessman's expression changed. Was it admiration? He spoke slowly. Let me make a suggestion. Let us think bigger. I can help fund the very first inclusive playground, but I want you and your friends to be the driving force behind it. Gasps echoed throughout the room. Was this really happening? Lily felt a warmth spread through her chest, a feeling that this was just the beginning. But another part of her nagged at her. What does that mean exactly? She asked, uncertainty creeping back in. Are there strings attached? He looked into her eyes, and for the first time, there was transparency there. There are always strings, Lily. But if we do this right, the ties can be the threads of connection, the weaving of community. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Was it truly that simple? Would everyone's hopes be a part of this fabric? As the meeting progressed, ideas flowed, voices intertwined, but a deep worry began to take root in Lily's heart. What if it all unraveled? What would they sacrifice for this dream? As she stole a glance at her mother, who offered her an encouraging smile, Lily felt a wave of determination wash over her. Yet, in the pit of her stomach, doubt loomed like a shadow. What if the connections they formed came with burdens they hadn't anticipated? And as the room fell into a rhythm of excitement, Lily looked toward the future, wondering, was this the start of something extraordinary, or merely the beginning of an intricate web that could ensnare them all? Lily stood on the stage, adrenaline coursing through her veins as the applause settled into a hushed silence. Every eye in the room was locked on her, and for a moment, she felt that energy flow between them, a tangible connection. The businessman nodded thoughtfully, and the weight of her words seemed to stretch into the air like the wings of a bird preparing for flight. Lily, he said, breaking the stillness, you really believe this can work, don't you? Yes, she replied, her voice stronger than before. I think it can bring everyone together. Families, kids, we all have something to share. And if we make this playground, we can show that everyone matters. Just as she spoke those words, a flicker of inspiration ignited in her chest, sparking hope. That hope had brought her here, and she wasn't about to let uncertainty extinguish it now. But as she looked at the faces around her, some hopeful, others anxious, she wondered if they all felt the same weight of responsibility. You said you want us to drive this, right? She continued, facing the businessman directly. What if we get it wrong? What if it all falls apart? His eyes softened, reflecting a wisdom that was hard-earned. Every step forward will have its risks, Lily. But those risks can also lead to amazing rewards. The real challenge is how we handle those bumps along the way. Lily absorbed his words, her heart racing. Just then, Mia and Sam climbed onto the stage beside her, their eyes sparkling with excitement. We can use social media. Sam exclaimed, jumping up and down. We could do live videos showing how much this means to us. Mia nodded, her cheeks flushed. And we can tell our stories. Everyone has a voice, and we can use it to reach others. Their energy was infectious, and a sense of warmth filled Lily's heart. This was more than just her dream, it was theirs, too. The room buzzed anew, the vibrant ideas weaving together, creating momentum, something palpable and real, but a shadow lingered at the edges of her excitement. As much as she wanted to bask in this moment, doubt was a companion she couldn't shake. Would their voices be loud enough to break through the noise of the world? And once they took those first steps, what if they were met with resistance or failure? She glanced back at her mother, who was watching with teary eyes, pride shining in her expression. Lily knew she could lean on her for support, but what if her mom had her own fears? What if Sarah worried about the pressures of leading a project that could mean so much and yet ask so much in return? Okay, the businessman said. Why don't we start small? Host a community gathering where you can all plan what comes next. I'll provide the venue, and together, we can invite everyone who believes in this cause. A soft cheer rippled through the crowd, encouragement spreading like wildfire. Parents began to murmur plans, and children clapped their hands, young voices rallying behind Lily's dream, but even with excitement blossoming, uncertainty pulsed in Lily's mind. She felt her heart flip as she thought of the challenges ahead. The responsibility weighed heavily, like carrying a giant load on her small shoulders. She had stepped onto this path hoping to turn dreams into reality, but what about when the dark clouds rolled in? With determination, Lily looked around again, awareness settling in. They were not alone. Everyone here wanted this playground, wanted to connect and grow into something beautiful. The network that they built would be their strength. Let us do it, she finally said, her voice breaking through the whirlwind of thoughts. Let us show everyone we can make this happen together. Cheers erupted, the sound wrapping around her like a warm hug. Lily lifted her fists into the air, and her heart swelled. But deep down, behind the optimism, she knew this was just the tip of the iceberg. As the crowd celebrated, she felt the stirring of more complex feelings. What began as hope grew into the possibility of something more profound. But how far would they actually have to go? Would their bond be enough to weather what lay ahead? As the echoes of joy filled the room, Lily took a deep breath, knowing this was just the beginning. The road ahead was unclear, but it called to her with a promise she couldn't ignore. With a weighty question hovering in the air, she thought, what untold challenges would emerge, and would they stand strong together in the face of adversity? The gathering was set for the following Saturday, a light touch of excitement buzzing in the crisp autumn air. Town hall posters announced the event, bright colors catching the eyes of passers-by. Lily could hardly focus on anything else. Each day felt like an eternity, the anticipation keeping her awake at night. Between school hours and helping her mom with chores, she could barely settle herself. Her mind raced with ideas about how to bring everyone together, hoping each one would spark something that could ignite real change. At the same time, an undercurrent of anxiety crept in, whispering fears of what could happen if things did not go as planned. As the week progressed, Lily found herself surrounded by her friends. Mia and Sam were her brainstorming partners, and together they spent hours planning how they would present their vision at the community gathering. They crafted colorful posters, painstakingly choosing words that sang with possibility, radiating the light of their dreams. I think we should include games, Mia suggested, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. Fun activities for the kids could help everyone feel more relaxed. And we can have music. Sam chimed in, already thinking about the kind of playlist they could create. It would feel more like a festival than a meeting. Lily smiled, feeling the warmth of their camaraderie. The energy in the room filled her with courage. They spent hours practicing a small presentation, but inside her, doubt lingered like smoke after a fire. Would the community feel it too, this spark of hope? Or would they turn away, dismissing it as just another idea that would fade? The big day finally arrived, and the sun cast a golden hue as people filtered into the town hall. Friends, families, and curious neighbors filled the space, their voices echoing against the walls. Lily's heart leaped as she stepped onto the stage with Mia and Sam by her side. The crowd quieted, eyes glued to them, and she felt that connection once more, the same magic she experienced days earlier. Like electricity ready to surge. Thank you all for coming. She started, her voice cracking slightly, but quickly gaining strength. We believe a playground is more than just swings and slides. It's a place where everyone can belong, where kids, no matter their situation, can play together. Lily looked over the audience, catching sight of her mother's encouraging smile. That small gesture served as her lifeline. She pressed on, and with each word, the fear slipped away. As she spoke about their vision, faces began to nod, understanding sparking in the eyes of the crowd. People shared laughter, and whispers of encouragement floated through. Soon, the ideas flowed. What if they could create a community garden next to the playground? Maybe a safe path for families to walk together. As excitement built, Lily felt stronger, her heart pounding with the collective rhythm of hopes and dreams being woven together. This, she thought, is the moment celebration grows from fear and doubt, and just as she began to feel like they might actually achieve something big, a small voice piped up from the back of the room. "What about my wheelchair?" A young girl, just a few years older than Lily, raised her hand hesitantly. "Will there be something for me, too?" An awkward silence blanketed the room, her question heavy and filled with the weight of truth. The girl's hopeful expression stood in stark contrast to the doubts swelling inside Lily. "Absolutely." Sam jumped in, his voice trembling but firm. "We want everyone to feel welcome. We'll work to make sure it's accessible for everyone." But as Lily looked at the girl's cautious eyes, she realized there was still so much left to do, so many unaddressed concerns. The group might want change, but was this enough to ensure every voice was heard? With that single question hanging in the air, uncertainty began to creep back into Lily's thoughts. They had come together, but could they really meet everyone's needs? Would they have the strength to face the deeper issues and insecurities laid bare before them? As the discussion continued, Lily bit her lip, determined to push forward for those who had yet to find their voice. What solutions would they create to ensure every child, no matter their background, could play together? Her heart thudded, the thrill of effort and possibility mixing with unease. This dream was supposed to bring everyone together, but yet, the reality of all they faced loomed before her, challenging the connection they were building. Was their bond truly enough to weather the complexities of reality they had yet to confront? And would they become a true embodiment of unity for all, or would the obstacles prove too great? As the girl's question lingered in the air, an electric stillness enveloped the town hall. Lily took a breath, grounding herself in that moment. She glanced at Mia and Sam, their faces mirroring her uncertainty. They were all in this together, a team united by a dream that suddenly felt much heavier. "Maybe we could have a design competition or a special committee," Mia suggested. "Something where everyone can share their ideas on making the playground accessible." Lily nodded, feeling the spark of hope return, but the girl's cautious eyes haunted her. "How do you make a playground accessible?" she thought. "What does that even look like?" The thought gnawed at her. Could they truly address every child's needs? She had witnessed how quickly excitement could shift into doubt, how easily community support could wane. The group might nod in agreement, but she feared that without concrete plans, those whispers of encouragement were just that, whispers. Overwhelmed by the thoughts racing in her mind, Lily felt an unexpected hand squeeze her shoulder. She turned to find her mother, who stood beside her, giving a reassuring smile that seemed to anchor her. "You're not alone, honey. It's okay to feel vulnerable." Those simple words washed over Lily like a balm. She straightened up, looking out at the sea of faces before her. Each person held a piece of the community's heart, and it was their connection that mattered most. "Let us not shy away from this. Let us use it as a starting point," she declared, her voice gaining strength. "We can hold a brainstorming session specifically for parents and kids, designed to make sure everyone's voice is heard. We will have a playground for all." The crowd murmured, shifting with a mix of enthusiasm and uncertainty. The young girl at the back nodded, her eyes brightening with cautious hope. Lily felt a rush of warmth, knowing that she might have transformed hesitation into action. "Can we count on you to help?" she asked the girl, a smile breaking through the tension. The girl's face lit up, and she nodded fiercely. "Yes. I want to help design the playground." Lily's heart surged. "See? We're stronger together," she shouted, a cheer rising in her chest. The crowd began to clap, and those around Lily echoed their agreement. In that moment, a new energy filled the air. Each clap, each exchange of smiles, reinforced what she had started. They were ready to embrace the challenge, to form a community that truly cared. As the session unfolded, voices bubbled over with enthusiasm. Ideas surged like waves, accessible swings, sensory paths, art installations that welcomed everyone. It was as if the room couldn't contain all the creativity and compassion pouring forth. Lily could see her dream taking root, each suggestion adding color to the vision they had started, but then a familiar voice came through the chatter, one that cut through her optimism like a knife. Can they really pull this off? It was Kevin, the neighborhood skeptic, known for always questioning everything. He stood across the room, arms crossed and a skeptical expression plastered on his face. You think meetings and ideas will magically create a park? You're dreaming. That voice rattled her. Questions surged again in her mind, replacing the confidence she had built. What if he was right? What if they made promises they couldn't keep? Lily's heart sank momentarily, fear clawing at her chest. But then she caught a glimpse of the girl's face, and the passion in her friend's eyes. This dream went beyond just swings and slides. It was about creating a safe place where no child felt left out. Maybe it starts with this dream, she responded, surprising herself with the strength in her voice. And maybe we don't have all the answers right now, but I believe we can figure it out as a community if we support each other. And just like that, another wave of enthusiasm washed over the room. Ideas flowed, excitement brewing again. But in the back of her mind, Kevin's words echoed like a shadow looming large. The afternoon sped on, filled with a whirlwind of creativity, but a question lingered. Could they truly turn dreams into reality, even when doubt crept in? Would they find the courage to face challenges head-on or allow a single voice of cynicism to derail their vision? With determination lighting her spirit, Lily clutched those thoughts tightly. They were on the brink of something special, but unseen battles lay ahead. As the gathering wound down, she felt a flicker of both hope and concern. Would they stand united when the criticism turned sharper, or would they retreat? The answer waited in the wings hidden, teasing, just out of reach. And as smiles faded into contemplation, she knew that the real journey was only just beginning. Lily felt the warmth in the room as ideas flowed, but the echo of Kevin's skepticism lingered in her mind. Each suggestion from the crowd, every burst of laughter and joy, felt like a fragile promise resting on a tightrope. They were teetering between hope and doubt, and she wasn't sure how stable that rope could be. As people filtered out, the town hall was left buzzing with the hope of what could come next. Mia was busy jotting down notes, while Sam discussed logistics with another parent. They were all swept up in the excitement, each engaged in figuring out how to make their vision a reality. But Lily stood slightly apart, her thoughts swirling. Hey, Penny, for your thoughts. Mia nudged her gently, pulling Lily from her reverie. Lily drew a deep breath, letting the warmth of her friend's enthusiasm seep back in. Do you think we can really do this? What if we can't keep the momentum going? What if the excitement fades? Mia frowned, clearly not expecting such doubt from her. We've just started. Look how many people got involved today. We just need to keep the conversations alive. You sparked something, Lil. The compliment made her heart flutter slightly. I know, but I keep thinking about that little girl. I can't shake her excitement, her need for this playground to be something special. Then let us make sure it is. Sam chimed in, suddenly by Lily's side, his eyes alight with his usual fervor. We just have to keep everyone engaged. How about we set up regular meetings, almost like a club? Kids and parents together. Lily found a smile creeping back. The idea of a club ignited a spark. A place where everyone could meet, share ideas, maybe even bond over what they wanted for the playground. That sounds perfect. We can even establish a committee. I can bunch them into smaller groups by age maybe. Perfect. And we could even create a plan to give updates to the community, so everyone knows where we are and how they can help. Mia added, her face lighting up with each new idea. As they brainstormed, an idea materialized: a community newsletter that showcased their plans, updates, and even stories from the kids involved. Lily couldn't help but feel giddy at the thought. This could be the connection they needed. But then a nagging fear returned. Would it be enough to silence the doubts? The next day, Lily and Mia visited the local library to prepare for their first official committee meeting. The library smelled like polished wood and old books, and the sunlight streaming through the tall windows cast a golden glow. There were rows of colorful brochures neatly displayed, a smorgasbord of information that made the library feel alive. It was breathtaking. While flipping through some files, Lily spotted a brochure for an inclusive design workshop. It felt like fate. Mia, look at this. Maybe we can get some guidance on how to design a space that everyone can enjoy, specifically for those with disabilities. Yes. This could give us the structure we need. A workshop could also generate a lot of buzz. We can include it in our newsletter. Mia grinned, her enthusiasm infectious. With newfound energy, they rushed home to draft the first edition. Lily's fingers danced over the keyboard as the excitement coursed through her. Each word solidified her vision, every line pulsated with the belief that they could create something magical, but just as they wrapped up, Lily received a message from Sam, his enthusiasm nowhere near what they shared. "Hey, there's something important I need to tell you guys. Can we meet?" "It's about the playground plans." Lily's heart skipped. She couldn't help but wonder if something had happened. Had Kevin's voice cast doubt in another way? As they prepared to meet, a knot of anxiety squeezed her stomach. What could it possibly be? The moment of truth was about to unfold, revealing the real challenges they might have to face. Would it spark another wave of determination, or would it unleash a storm? Only time would tell. Lily paced back and forth, her thoughts racing like the wind. The message from Sam sat heavy in her mind. They had worked so hard to gather support, to bring everyone together, and now uncertainty loomed like a dark cloud. What could Sam possibly want to discuss that was more important than their plans? The small coffee shop where they agreed to meet buzzed with chatter and laughter. The familiar smell of roasted coffee beans filled the air, adding a sense of warmth to the chilly day. Lily's fingers drummed nervously on the table, while Mia's eyes darted around, picking up on Lily's unease. "Hey, we've got this. Whatever he wants to say, we'll deal with it," Mia said gently, squeezing Lily's hand. "Yeah, but I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right," Lily replied, biting her lip. Moments later, Sam entered, his face clouded with concern. He slid into the chair across from them, taking a deep breath as if the weight of the world rested on his shoulders. "Thanks for meeting me," Sam began, his voice a whisper, barely cutting through the cafe noise. "This is about the playground and I need to be honest." Lily's heart raced. Would he share doubts, fears, or something worse? There's been some chatter around town. People have concerns about costs, about access, and access. Lily interjected, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. "What do you mean?" "About how inclusive it truly will be," Sam replied, his eyes darting between the two of them. "People are worried we might forget some kids, especially those with disabilities. It's not just about a playground, it's about creating a space that everyone can use." The words hit Lily hard. She thought back to the little girl she had met in the community, her eyes shining with hope. Had they already failed before they even began? "I'm worried we might not get the funding we need. There's talk that some groups might not back us financially if they feel we haven't addressed the inclusivity concern capably," Sam continued. Mia leaned forward, her brow furrowed. "So, what are we supposed to do? Should we write a proposal or something?" "I think we need more than that," Sam said earnestly. "What if we held a community forum? We could invite parents, experts, and even the kids to talk about what they need. It could draw in people who want to support us." Lily bit her lip, her heart torn between hope and fear. But what if it doesn't change anything? What if people still doubt us? Mia squeezed her hand again and spoke with determination. "Lily, this could be our chance to show everyone how serious we are. We could involve the community in decision-making. It's everyone's playground after all." The idea hung in the air, both thrilling and terrifying. What if they could truly engage everyone, not just the supporters? What if they could turn this doubt into determination? Okay, let's do it, Lily said, her voice steady now. A community forum it is. As they discussed how to spread the word, a thought struck Lily: this wasn't just about building a playground anymore. It was a chance to raise awareness, to bring real change and inclusivity to their town. They would have to face fears, but maybe, just maybe, they could create something extraordinary. As Sam pulled out his notepad to jot down ideas, he paused and looked at both of them. You know, I had another idea. What if we invited that little girl to share her story? It'll show everyone why this playground matters. Lily felt her heart soar, but doubt lingered. What if the girl's story was too painful? What if sharing her experience pushed her into a spotlight she didn't want? Are you sure she'll be comfortable? Lily asked, concern etching her features. I think it's worth asking. She sounds like the heartbeat of what we're trying to create, Sam replied earnestly. What if this was the moment that could change everything? The thought sent a shiver down Lily's spine. She did want to make a difference, but exposing that little girl felt risky. As they parted ways that evening, a new weight settled within Lily. They had a plan, but the path ahead was unclear. Would they step into the light, or would the shadows close in around them as the doubts resurfaced? Only time could reveal the answer, as anticipation crackled in the air. What would they discover when they reached out to the little girl? Would her story be the spark they desperately needed, or would it ignite a fire of fear instead? The day of the community forum arrived with a cool breeze stirring leaves along the bustling streets of Maple Grove. The sky stretched wide and blue, as if the heavens themselves were cheering on the budding dreams of this tight-knit town. The gymnasium at the local school was a sea of faces as families filled the seats, chatter rising to a hopeful pitch. Lily stood at the front, her heart danced like a drum in her chest, a mix of excitement and anxiety surging through her. The spotlight was on her again, but this time, she was not alone. Next to her stood Sam and Mia, their smiles wide and encouraging, flanking her like sentinels of support. Lily cleared her throat, the microphone echoing her timid uncertainty. Thank you all for coming. We're here to talk about the playground and how it can be a place for everyone. Her voice quivered at first, but with each word, the confidence blossomed, filling the air around them. She could feel the warmth of the community, each person here genuinely wanting this dream to take root. A familiar face emerged from the crowd. It was the little girl. Lily's heart swelled seeing her, a flicker of hope danced in the girl's eyes. She approached the stage, carrying a small drawing of a playground that captured her vibrant imagination. Can I share my ideas too? She asked, her voice small yet resonant. Lily beamed. Of course. Everyone's voice is important. She stepped aside, allowing the girl to take the microphone. Violet, the child's name, spoke about the swings that could hold her wheelchair, how being included meant the world to her. As the words flowed from her lips, the gym resonated with understanding and empathy. Lily glanced at the crowd. Parents nodded, children were enthralled. For the first time, she understood how profoundly connection could empower change. It illuminated the path forward. They weren't just building a playground, they were creating a home for dreams, laughter, and inclusion. The forum transitioned into a vibrant discussion. Parents voiced their ideas, children's laughter punctuated the air with joy, and even skeptics like Kevin stepped up with suggestions on ensuring accessibility. I might have doubted at first, but I can see it now, he admitted. If we all work together, we can make this playground something meaningful. Each person in that room was becoming part of the dream, stitching their own stories into the fabric of Lily's vision. Emboldened by each voice, Lily proposed a call to action. Let us form planning committees. We can address every concern together. This playground belongs to everyone, so let's ensure it welcomes everyone. The gym erupted into loud applause, ringing like a symphony of support. As enthusiasm swelled, a local business owner offered to host fundraising events. Parents rallied together, sharing their skills. Some promised to craft, others to cook for bake sales. while children wrote pledges of what the new playground meant to them. Each suggestion sparkled with hope, sparking a fire that none of them would allow to burn out. After hours filled with excitement, ideas, and community, Lily felt something new rise within her, a sense of purpose cultivated by collective determination. It wasn't just about the playground, it was about forging bonds, fostering inclusivity, and making dreams tangible. Stepping down from the stage, Lily caught her mother's proud smile. "I'm so proud of you, sweetheart," Sarah murmured, her voice threaded with warmth. "Mom, it feels like we can really do this," Lily said, barely able to contain her joy. "We're not just building swings, we're building our community." As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with strokes of orange and pink, Lily stood surrounded by friends and family. They had taken that leap of faith together, crossing daunting thresholds and impacting lives. This was just the beginning, a growing network of hearts and minds united by compassion, and then it hit her like a warm wave. They had transformed doubt into determination, joy into action, and fear into hope. Together, they were not merely nurturing dreams, they were cultivating a legacy. Lily looked back at the gathered crowd, and a brilliant smile exploded across her face. "Together, we'll make sure every child knows they belong here." The cheers were thunderous, and in that moment, she felt an overwhelming sense of love enveloping her. This day became etched in the hearts of Maple Grove, a promise that dreams could become reality, that community could triumph over doubt, and that every voice deserved to be heard. And as she felt the warmth of the evening air, Lily understood one simple truth: hope grows when hearts unite. Now, here's your chance. You need to subscribe now so you won't miss the next incredible story. Leave a like right now to feed the algorithm and share this journey. Comment below and tell us how you felt about this ending. And for the love of all that's good, share instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to show your support. True fans understand the importance of uplifting our community.